Alrighty. Thank you so much for being here today with us, Hannah. How are you today?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for including me on your podcast. This is actually probably one of the greatest podcasts that I've come across because this is helping, aspiring models and even people that are in the industry. It's just helping them understand just because you're a shorter model doesn't mean you can't do anything. And whether or not you want to apply it to modeling, this could stand for literally anything in life.
Yeah.
Just because someone tells you you can't do something doesn't mean you can't. So I just really love what this podcast stands for. And I thank you for inviting me.
Aw, you're so sweet. You're going to make me cry. Okay. Okay, well, to start, if anybody listens to my podcast, they already know that I love to check on top modeling agencies every now and then, and I literally go through all the models' heights to see if anybody is shorter than 5'7", and I think I was doing that when I came across you. And I found your name, and then I think I looked you up on Instagram, and I found you on YouTube, and I heard your story. And a lot of times stories about petite models are not that relatable because they are either daughters of famous people, or they got scouted in the street really young, and it was just in quote easy. Obviously it doesn't really matter if you got scouted or not. It's never easy, but in terms of getting found and starting out, it sounds like you're not, it's not relatable, And when I found about you, I listened to your story, that one that you posted on YouTube with your mom. By the way, your mom is so cute. I love that you included her on the video about explaining how everything happened from the viewpoint of a parent. So I love her in that video. But yeah, so your story is so relatable. So I really wanted to have you on here for you to tell us literally exactly how you started and how the whole journey was. I really like for models to go into detail in their stories because that's when people, find relatable things. So yeah, so how did you start it? How long ago? All the stuff.
Okay, so I started modeling back in late 2013 going into 2014. And what happened was I remember the same day I was like, Mom, I really want to be a model. And she was like, wow, because I just took a newspaper clipping and I saved it just in case you wanted to be one. And I was actually going to ask you about it. So the newspaper clipping was basically a phone number for a scammy small agency in Tampa. It wasn't anything that was legit because they asked for money up front. They used that whole, oh, we need that money for photographers, or we need that money because we're going to teach you stuff. So they weren't anything good. So I mean, we went through with, this agency, paid them the money. And out of this agency, the only turnaround point that was really good, they gave us a list of agencies in every major city and in Tampa as well. Cause I'm from Florida. So,
okay. So you actually tried this agency? You actually paid them and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We actually paid them because we didn't know at the time that you're not supposed to pay up front. So they gave us a list of agencies, and they actually taught me the standard poses, the hands on the hip, and just etiquette. And so we took that, and my mom was actually my momager, quote unquote, for a while.
Yeah.
And from there, to get many of the jobs from 2014 to about 2017 before I got signed, a lot of the jobs were freelance because my mom would go in Facebook. And for example, since I lived in Tampa, it was Tampa Modeling and Talent Group, or Models and Talent Group in Central Florida. Just keywords around model talent and the area we were in, Florida. A lot of the creatives in Tampa would be designers saying, hey, I need some models for a fashion show, or another creative like photographers saying, hey, I need models for TFPs, which is I think it's like trade for pictures,
trade
talent
for print. Trade for print.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it. And so I did a lot of that. I did a lot of, fashion shows locally. I did a lot of photo shoots locally. It was all for free. I never got paid until I got signed, but it was experience. And I strongly encourage everybody to have experience at least once or twice before like walking in an agency, because when you show that you're somewhat experienced, it's easier for them to be like, okay, we can actually work with you because we know how you can move. Yeah. Whereas if someone that's never modeled before, it could be a little bit awkward in front of the camera,
Yeah, I totally agree.
Gotcha. And so in 2017, my old mother agent, Nina Nesbitt, she actually reached out to my mom on Facebook, and she was like, I've been watching Hannah's Facebook because I had like a little modeling page. Aww. And she said, I've been watching her and I think she would be great to meet in person and bring her to this talent and modeling association to put in front of like 50 plus agencies. So my mom was like, how much is it? Because obviously we went through that first phase with the agency with paying them. So we traveled all the way up to South Carolina to meet her, loved her, went through with it. Even though you do have to pay for IMTA, it was like an experience worth paying for. Okay. Because you get it or you don't. And it's like an opportunity where if you actually want it, you're going to see results type thing. And I knew I actually wanted it. So obviously flash forward.
So just like a little pause for people that don't know what IMTA is. Could you explain to us what it is, like in general?
Sure. IMTA stands for International Model and Talent Association. And what that is, it's a convention held in LA or NYC. I think they do NYC in the summertime, and LA is near the beginning of the year. So they have them twice a year. And basically like dancers, models, actors, singers, songwriters, basically everybody can go to this convention with a mother agent. And the mother agent, for people who do not know, is basically your mother agent. Is like so basically she's like a manager, head person. Yeah, she's basically your manager, and she's overseeing like what happens with you in modeling and during this convention. So,
and you need one.
I was with my mother agent. You
need a mother agent to be able to participate in the competition. Like you cannot just like show up on your own.
Yeah, so you'll have to find a mother agent. And on IMTA's website, you can actually see a list of them, like the talent schools and everything, a list of them, and see which one is closest to your area to attend.
Okay.
And, so, go ahead.
I know, because I did a little bit of research, I know that it's very expensive to attend, even though it's a huge opportunity because you get to be seen by so many agencies, like even top modeling agencies and like boutique agencies. Like it's a big investment. Is it like, I read, but I'm not sure, that the price is between like $5,000 to $10,000 depending on like the package that you get?
So yes, thank you for bringing that up, because I actually forgot about the packages too. So what happened was, I think it was $5,000 flat for me to go with my mom. And I got that deal because I really wanted to go. She saw something in me and she said, okay, I'm going to have your mom go for free. Because normally parents have to pay. So I think it would be $5,000 per person.
Really?
But my mom came for free, which we were so thankful for, because we were like, 5,000. So, if you wanted, you could, I'm not sure about the specific numbers, but if you wanted to do certain competitions, it would be more money. So everybody would do, like jeans, swimwear if they wanted to, or I think that one might have been more.
Okay.
Dressing in all black, standard runway. you get to decide what you want and pay extra for. And I think if you pay extra, it was between $100 to $200, I want to
Okay.
say. So it is very expensive. And that's why I say it's like a 50-50 chance you can either get signed or you might not. I think it just depends on, if everybody went there and had the same drive, of course it would be harder for people to get signed. I mean, it's hard enough as it is,
Yeah.
but you have to figure a way out to be like, what is my purpose in this? Do I actually really want it? Or should I go the standard way to getting signed, which is open calls and stuff which is $5,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
So, it's a big investment.
It
And
is.
I was rewarded with that investment. There was obviously a return on investment.
Yeah.
Whenever I went, because when I went, I signed with New York Models. And my experience as it was at IMTA was nothing short but amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I came in there. I didn't even know how to like wear my hair. My mother agent was like, put out your afro, because I came with a wig on. I don't know why.
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, I understand with like beauty standards and things like that. So,
Yeah, I thought I would get picked if I wore a straight wig.
okay.
And my
Yeah.
agent was like, no, you need to wear your hair out. So
Nice.
once I wore my hair out, I was probably one of the only girls in my category that had an afro. So
Ooh.
I stood out to the max in my
Yeah.
category. And then that resulted me getting commercial model of the year. And this is why I say height should not matter, because even though I was in like the shorter commercial girl category, there were taller girls that were like 5'7" in this category. And here I am, short little me, I think it was like 5'4" at that time.
Okay.
And I got the commercial model of the year. So that's why I really stress to everyone, like, no matter what they say on the website, they can say they only want models 5'7" and above, still apply.
Yeah.
Because you never know,
Exactly. Yeah. There's always exceptions all the time.
Yeah.
So like how many days is this convention? What are the things that you had to do? Like, how's the whole competition? Because I've heard of it, but I've never actually heard the entire process. I'm very like curious about it.
Okay, so I think it's like a week or 4-day convention, and you have so many things going on during this week. I think it's a 5-day actually. So I arrived on the weekend on a Sunday, and then through that Monday through Friday, it is nothing but go, go, go. You're lucky if you get 6 hours of sleep.
Oh,
because
wow.
it is literally go mode. And so the competitions, I can't exactly remember what I did, but I know I did a lot of the runways, and I did one acting.
Okay.
Because just to have that under my belt.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the week, after you're on go mode, they have a banquet, and then they have rewards night. And then so the banquet is basically like the dance party night where, people find out, I think it is I can't remember exactly. I think, they have the banquet and rewards night, which is the same in one night. So what that is that the participants find out who is top rated in their category. So they'll get called up to the stage, and then that's the same night they'll find out who's like model of the year or actor of the year, songwriter of the year.
And like this things like, okay, so I know it's a competition and you get like those awards, but like, does it matter if you do not like win your competition?
No, it does not matter, because you can win all the awards in America, but the thing that people really like to realize is it's not really about the award, it's about how you are as a model or a dancer or an actor. If an agency wants a shorter model or a taller model that didn't get an award, they're still most likely going to get a call back and get signed, So it doesn't really matter, because I got commercial model of the year, 50 something callbacks, and I only signed with one person. So it's really just about after they see you. It doesn't really, I don't even think most of the agents attend the awards night because they're tired too. So
like they're like during the entire week that you're doing like all this stuff that you have to do, they're constantly there, like watching you perform and, you know, being on stage or whatever you have to do.
Constantly in this, I want to say auditorium room. And they're walking around the hallways, and some of them, so agents wear this badge, I think it's blue. And so a lot of them take them off because they want to see how models act in person off of stage. So there have been times where I heard that an agent was in an elevator and this person was being rude to their mom, and that person was on their list to, you know, have a callback, and they were taken off the list.
Oh my God.
You know,
you have to be like, and you know, like true to yourself like the entire time, you know, don't put out like mask on.
Exactly, because they will find out for sure.
Yeah.
And then callbacks is a crazy day because at the end of the whole competition, there's people crying because they didn't get a callback, or there's people, you know, that have 100 callbacks and they have to make a certain time. And I think callbacks are only like 2 hours. So you have to stand in long lines, find the agent, and then, you know, see if they actually want to represent you. And the thing is, after IMTA, you probably won't even hear back from many of these agents until 1 to 2 months later if they really want to confirm and sign you.
Okay.
Because after I got out of IMTA, which was in July, the beginning of July, or sorry, end of June, beginning of July, I signed with New York Models mid-September. So it was kind of like a long period of time.
Okay. That's interesting, you know, because you will think that maybe like right on the spot it happens, and like, you know. Okay, that's very interesting. So so you won your award, you got callbacks, and you decided to go with New York Models. Is it because you just wanted to be with them, or from all the callbacks that's the one they called you back, or did you attend all the 50 callbacks that you got?
Yeah, I attended all 50. It was really about one of the reasons why I really wanted to sign with New York was because when I was in high school, February, I got a message from them asking, like, on Instagram saying, oh, okay, what's your height, your measurements? We're interested in representing you. I talked to Erin Smeka at the time, who was part of New York Models, and she Skyped me, and she was like, we really want to sign you. And I said, well, hold up, because I'm going to IMTA. So let's hold off on this until, you know, I go to IMTA and you can see me in person.
Okay.
So she was still excited about me in person. So I just wanted to sign with New York Models because when an agency shows that they're excited and they really want you, you need to go to, excuse me, you need to go to them, because that means they know that they can work you.
So technically, without you going to IMTA, you had already been scouted by them. And then you went to MTA, and then you make your final decision. Was it because you just wanted to see what was out there? Like, get, like, your money's worth of, like, the opportunities that could be out there?
Yeah, it was that. And also just being in front of some of the agents. Because I was also, Wilhelmina was also interested in me. Okay. But because it wasn't really the same excitement, I was like, nah, we got to go with New York Model Management.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you finally heard back from them in September, what happened next? Did you move to New York, or like what happened?
So I was still in high school in September. I was in my senior year. So right after I got signed with them, my mom and I went into the model apartment in October, and we stayed, I think, 2 nights. And from those 3 days, so 3 days, 2 nights, we went back-to-back test shoots, went to New Jersey, met the agents in the agency. I met some of the models in the model apartment. So it was a really nice experience because they really helped me with, like, okay, here's what you need to pack. Here's how you're going to dress. And kind of like gave me an experience that I was ready for once I finished school and went to moved to New York after school. So
Okay.
the plan initially was I got signed with New York Models in September. So then I started thinking future. I said if I wanted to work more, I needed to not quit school, but like end school early.
Okay.
So what I did was talk to my guidance counselor. So I finished 2 semesters in 1 semester. So what that means is I didn't go to school second semester because I already finished it. So I finished early just so I could go to New York.
Okay.
And I still graduated. So it's not like I just dropped out of school.
Yeah. You finished, but you finished earlier. Yeah.
And so in April, after Fashion Weeks and everything, I actually went to New York when I was 18 and modeled. I got booked with my dream job, which was to originally be in 17 magazine at the time. And because I read 17 magazine growing up.
Yeah.
So my first official job in New York was 17.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So cool. I also read, obviously, 17 magazine when I was growing up. That's so cool. Oh my God, it's amazing. So you moved to New York?
Not like move, but just like was in the model apartment for about 4 months.
Okay.
And then I went to IMTA to be a speaker at IMTA that summer.
Nice.
And because they invited me back since I was an alumni. And basically met Kareen from LA Models. And she was super excited and wanted to sign me. So right after that, I went back to Florida for about 2 weeks, changed out my suitcase because, staying in the model apartment, you can't really keep anything to stay. So I went to LA, straight to LA. And I stayed there for about 2 months. And that was an experience because I didn't really get any work. It wasn't really for me. So I went back to Florida and got direct bookings until I figured out my financial situation.
Yeah. Direct bookings with New York or with LA or with both?
Sorry?
Direct bookings with LA or with New York or with both?
Just with New York Models. So
so basically didn't work and you just didn't continue with them.
I was still signed with them, but I didn't really get work since I wasn't in the actual location to go to castings or anything. So it was mostly like social media work, or they would tell me I had a job for a client, so I needed to make arrangements to fly up and stay in the model apartment, which had to happen a few times. But definitely it's much better staying in the area to work in so that you can go to castings and have those opportunities to like see people face to face.
Okay, yeah.
And then I moved officially to New York in last year, actually. It's going to be a year next month. So
wow. So it's fairly recent that you've been in New York.
So basically, like, my tip-top advice to anyone is I would definitely recommend going to a model apartment first, even if it's for a weekend. I know model apartments can get very, very expensive.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yes, you do have to be like financially ready for that. Even if you're working steady, that $1,600 a month or however expensive a model apartment is still coming out of your checks. So it's just, there's the downfalls and the advantages of being in a model apartment, and there's a lot more advantages because you meet new people, you get a feel for the city, and if you make friends, then you're not really going anywhere alone. And it's just like those connections. Any connection helps in the industry because you never know, if a model is going to transfer into being an agent for something or a casting director. So you never want to burn a bridge, and you always want to make connections. And most of the time, model apartments, yes, they're expensive, but it's better than staying in an Airbnb or somewhere where you're alone in a city that you do not know where you are.
Yeah, for sure. And especially like being so young too, because you were what, 18 when you moved, or were you still 17 when you first started going to New York? Maybe not moved, but started going to New York. How old you were?
When I first started going, I was 17 and I didn't turn 18 until a month in the model apartment.
Okay, so you were, I mean, it's still pretty young, you know, like
Yeah.
you're still pretty young. Yeah. So, okay, so you're telling me that like you were with New York models, and I've noticed that right now you're with like Red Model Management. When did that happen? Like the switch?
The switch happened last September. So September of 2019, I switched over to Red. No hard feelings, but I mean, it's very common in the industry.
Yeah, I see
A
that a
lot of
lot.
models, yeah, a lot of models think that they're going to get blacklisted if they say a concern to their agents or want to switch agencies. And I don't think for many that's the case,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're making them top dollar bucks, then yeah, they're going to be mad. But fortunately enough for me, that wasn't the case. So I was easily able to just switch to Red, which Red has treated me so well. I could not ask for a better agency as a shorter model. They work me like a fashion model, and that I am forever
Nice.
grateful for them because as a shorter model, you get some agencies that are like, oh, you're shorter, so we're just going to put you in beauty work.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Well,
commercial work, and that's it. You're done there, you know?
yeah, and I don't think that that's necessarily appropriate, especially in 2020 when the
Yeah.
world is changing and the industry is changing, and you have all these other shorter models working. So, placing one person in a box just because they don't um, stand up to your standards of what a model is isn't okay to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, like, I mean, I've talked about it like so many times. Like, the world is so diverse. Like, the average woman height in the U.S. and many countries in the entire world is below 5'4". Like, why is clothing not made for us? Like, I mean, I understand maybe like high fashion, but even then, but technically, like regular clothes, like your jeans and your tops and your sweaters, like those are so long for us when we like buy them. Like it's not just the us wanting to model and be in front of the camera, it's just for the consumer. Like so many times, like I can only shop at certain places that they have like petite like sizes, or they do like different lengths for jeans, because any other brand is too long and like it doesn't fit you. And like I'm not gonna spend like an extra, I don't know how much money to fix it. Like why wouldn't you make it for like short? Like it's just like an entire thing that needs to change in the industry. It's crazy. But I love that about Red management. Honestly, I've seen a huge change in the industry and how welcoming they are to shorter models in the past maybe like 2 to 3 years. So basically, the moment that you get signed, 2017 until now, is that I've seen the most amount of like change, and I've been seeing more petite models, you know. So like I said, I understand, but I love that, you know, someone in the part of the agency changed their mindset about shorter models. You know, they have you, because I don't know if they have any other petite model, but I think they only have you that's short.
Yeah, I think it's just me.
Yeah, and that's amazing. You know, that's a start. So yeah, so so if your agency sees you as like a fashion model, which is very very rare in this industry, do you still struggle with your height in terms of like getting the jobs that you want to get, or like going to castings? Do you ever get like an actual casting that you want to do for like fashion, and then when you get there, they're like, "Oh, you're too short," or anything like that? Do you still struggle with your height?
Yes. So I had a story not too long ago that I went to a casting during Fashion Week, and I went to this casting before Fit the Clothes because I tried on the clothes, and this was just for their like e-commerce,
Mm-hmm.
and the clothes were cute. The lady complimented me and sent me on my way. So I go to their casting again for Fashion Week, and I'm standing in line for about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy comes up to me and says, "You're too short, so please leave," in front of all the models. And it was super
Really?
embarrassing. Yeah. It's just super embarrassing when they do that too, because it's like, you could at least just take my picture and say, okay, thanks, instead of
Yeah.
blasting me. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't even pay it any mind because I like to say it like this, and you have to have confidence being in the industry. I
Mm-hmm.
always tell myself, well, it's their loss because that having even a shorter girl in their runway or in their show or a campaign could literally give them like money talk. It could give them more
Publicity.
publicity
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, they have a shorter model, they're inclusive of other people, but no. So
Yeah.
I don't pay any mind because honestly,
Their
like I said,
loss.
yeah, and you have to think like that or it's going to tear you down.
Yeah, 100%. And like besides like, struggles with your height, any other like struggle that you would like to share with us in your like modeling journey, anything else that, it's been hard on you, or like maybe like time that how long it took you to actually start making money, or like being alone in New York, things like that.
Okay, so I do struggle with fitting some people's clothes because like if you go to a casting and they're like, we need you to put this on. My
Uh-huh.
initial thought is, oh my gosh, it's probably not going to fit because when they see that the clothes don't fit, they're instantly like,
Never mind.
bye. They, they don't want to tailor or nothing. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I struggle with that a lot. I struggle with trying to find clothes that make me look taller to
Okay.
look look better at castings
Mm-hmm.
because certain like pants can make me look short, especially the high-waisted pants on me
Uh-huh.
sometimes make me look short and stubby depending on how they're cut. Like the Colette
Yeah,
pants.
yeah, I know what you're
They're like,
talking about. Uh-huh. They're like
yeah, I
wide
could
and like towards the, yeah.
yeah, I could never wear those. So it's just like some stuff I'm conscious about and then other than that, I don't really feel as if I'm treated differently because sometimes I forget I am short because I don't always like to sit here and be like, oh, I'm a short model. I'm not going to get this opportunity. But you have to look at it from an optimistic point of view
Yeah, something that
because
makes you different.
yeah, so whether that's your hair, whether that's your freckles or your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
you are in the industry for a reason, and somebody is going to see potential in you someday. It might not be today, but they will tomorrow. So I always like to tell people to don't let anything drag them down because what's in is in now, but tomorrow it might change.
Yeah.
So never, let people's words get to you.
Mm-hmm.
And money wise and like job wise, I do a lot more like commercial work, hair work, beauty work. So I didn't start to see jobs come in until I actually got signed with Red because they kind of understood my position better.
Okay.
Whereas because they are a fashion agency, but they also have different clients. So
Mm-hmm.
I got booked with American Eagle or I got booked with Aussie, just different people for different things. In the as a shorter model, you should always ask the agency, what kind of clients do you have? Because you never want to go in an agency that just has one certain client.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed that you're not just right now with Red, you're assigned to like other agencies, including Milk Management in London and news agency,
New.
new
Mm-hmm.
agency in they're in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like, have you had the opportunity to travel abroad for shoots and castings, or have you stayed mostly like in New York for the majority of the time?
I've stayed in New York like for the majority of the time. Obviously, the virus happened and I was actually going to go to London this summer
Aww.
for
Okay.
Milk. But plans changed and you have to work around it.
Yeah.
So I'm doing just like shoots from home, trying to see what, clients want to see what your space looks like and how you pose, since obviously you can't be shot by a photographer or go on set right now. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I haven't been to London and I haven't been to LA since being signed with New, but I'm looking forward to going to either place
Uh-huh.
and seeing what the future holds. And I also want to share. a bit of information that's helped me. I don't know if anybody's kind of like, I don't think this is spiritual, but just involved with the energies, because if you, or just manifestations, because if you speak something out in the universe that's positive, you got to be specific, because if not, it might come back to be something else. So like, for example, I said, I am going to get a beauty contract. Beauty can be hair or makeup. And I just landed a hair contract. So I'm like, so like, wow, manifestation actually works. So especially being a shorter model, you want to say to yourself, I'm going to get this, or I am already working for Dolce and Gabbana, stuff like that, because I really believe in emitting positive stuff in the, in the atmosphere is going to come back to us. And I think that really helps looking into a positive light, especially if you feel like as a shorter model, you might not be getting booked right now, or you might be overlooked. Well, you can always tell yourself, I'm in demand, even if you feel like you're in a different position. But having a different mindset changes everything. And there's nothing to be necessarily like sad about, because there are people out here that haven't had the chance to even put one toe in the door for modeling. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's a tough career, but all careers are tough. Nothing is handed and nothing is going to happen overnight. But, as long as you work for it and you put your best foot forward, there will be an outcome.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, I'm a religious person, but it's the same principle. Like when I pray, like I tell God exactly what I want. Like I want this and this to happen, and I'm positive about it. And I think like one of the reasons why, just like saying what you want is helpful is because you actually work towards it. When you don't know what you want and you don't know, basically you don't know what you want, how are you going to work towards it? Like, how are you going to put in like the little pieces together to get to that point? Like if you want to be a beauty model, then you go find agencies that do beauty and that take, different heights. Or if you want to do fashion, you go in to take photos for your portfolio that are fashion related. Like you go and do the things, And I feel like for a model, like you don't just have to say like, oh, I want to be a model. You have to know exactly what you want, what clients you want to work with, what agencies you want to be signed to, what markets you want to be in, so that way you work towards it, And like you said, being positive is like really important, because I've been like in this journey for like a while, like 7 years, and I am not where I want to be. But like you said, like so many girls have not put their foot in the door yet, and I do have it, I'm still doing cool stuff, so it's about being patient. But yeah, it's right, it's tough, it's tough to like that, like I guess compare yourself to like other models and be like, oh, but she's done that and she's with them and like I'm not near there, and instead of think like, wait, you're actually doing this and other girls are not even there yet because you have put so much work into this, so it's about having a positive mindset. So yeah, totally agree with what you're saying.
And I agree with what you just said too.
Nice. So I also want to touch on this a little bit. So a lot of people don't realize, but being a model is an entrepreneur career. Like you are your own boss. This is your business. Even though you're signed to an agency, even though they're helping you get clients, this is your business. Like you're the one who is building it, who is making it profitable, and it's like building like a leggings company or like shoe company or whatever, and other like I say, and when I'm trying to say up with this, it's like people don't realize that models are businesswomen, and besides modeling, a lot of them also start other businesses at the same time. Like for example, Carly Claus has her coding school, and like Emily, I don't know how to say her last name, but Emrata, you know who she is?
I know
Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah.
She has her like I think it's a bathing suit line, and like Devin Windsor also has a bathing suit line. So I noticed that you are a co-owner of Jumu. That's how you say
Mm-hmm.
it? Okay. So I just want to take this a little bit of opportunity for you to talk to us about your business. Like just what it is and stuff.
So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I am co-owner of Jumu, which is a natural hair accessory tool and expanding to a natural hair product company.
Mm-hmm.
And how this came about was my boyfriend and I were traveling in Chicago last year, and I wasn't signed in Chicago, so I had a lot of free time. So I was just thinking, and I was saying my ideas to him. I was like, well, why don't we start a business together? Because, we're good partners as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really good with like finances, and he might be a little bit smarter than me. So it's like having, two good heads in one business is like what I always wanted. So we noticed that there is a lack of representation in the natural hair industry, where there's not really a lot of representation in terms of you don't really see hair picks with natural hair on it. You see the ones that are normal, you see the ones with the fist on it, and for like the Black Lives Matter and empowerment, but you don't see somebody on a pick. So we designed a hair pick that has the afro on it, so
Mm-hmm.
that naturals can look at it and say that their hair is beautiful the way it is, and not try to change it or conform to society standards.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, especially in the natural hair community, a lot of the reasons why a lot of them used to do relaxers and just straighten their hair all the time was because of the society's standards, like, oh, curly hair isn't professional, it's
Mm-hmm.
ugly, or your hair is bushy and frizzy, why are you wearing it like that? So it's a business that's expanding. Him and I work on it day and night. Every day we're sending out either an order, or I'm uploading something on the social media, or we're working towards it at two different angles. But I think it's definitely going to expand a lot more within the next 2 years, and I'm excited
That's
because it
awesome.
is something that we've put in a lot of work and money into, and just seeing people receiving their products makes our day. So we also have like detangling combs, edge brushes. We're coming out with detangling brushes, so it's doing well.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that project, and I hope it goes really well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, just to like finish off this interview, I always at the end want to end with asking the model or the person that I'm interviewing for their advice on what would they tell a girl or even a guy who wants to get into modeling and they feel that they're not good enough. They feel that they're too short, too curvy, their skin is not clear, anything like that. Like, what would you tell them?
I would tell them first and foremost to get out of your head, because, and the reason why I say it like that is we are our own worst enemy, and we're going to see ourselves as the worst person ever. Oh, we're too short. We're too tall. Our skin isn't that clear. Oh, I stink. I don't know. But
Yeah.
different things we pick about ourselves, and what we might not like about ourselves, an agent will love and clients will love. For example, a model could not like her freckles, but the agent loves it, and the client will book this model over and over again
Yeah.
because there's something about them that's unique and maybe different, and we need to see different. So I
Yes.
would just say, do not allow yourself to ruin an opportunity or advance something in life, because you're going to regret it. And there is a spot for everybody. Okay, there's a spot for everybody. And honestly, I would say also look in the mirror and tell yourself every day that you're beautiful, you're confident, and you're powerful. No matter your gender, no matter your age, height, or whatever, you need to tell yourself that every day in the morning until you believe it and you feel it and you're confident enough to go into an agency and say, hi, my name is so and so, and I want to be signed with you. Because having that self confidence is going to overtower anything that you're afraid of, and it's it's one of the most powerful things you can actually have, and most beautiful things you can have. Because when you're confident, nobody can tell you no, and nobody can stop you.
Yeah.
So I just really stress people having the confidence and believing that they're beautiful and powerful and getting out of their head, because, you know, you could be 5'1" and, you know, have a different look about you, and someone's going to love you for the way that you are. So there's no reason why you need to change it. So just be yourself and be confident and be ready to sign them papers and put your name on that line, because shoot, when you're confident and you show that you really want something, things happen.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like not about changing who you are or your physical appearance. It's about accepting who you are, and then just finding the people that are going to accept you and love you for who you are. Because there's definitely people out there that will love you for your freckles, for your shorter height, for your afro hair, for the color of your skin, whatever it is that you think that it's not okay to like beauty standards. Somebody will find you and be like, we love this, like we want you.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today and sharing your journey. I loved everything that you say. I'm going to put the information for people to follow you on Instagram and for Jumu on the description box. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a great career, and I am really excited to keep, you know, following each other and connecting each other, and hopefully one day I get to work with you.
Thank you so much for having me, and the feeling is mutual. I hope the best for you in your career, and yes, we will definitely be on set with each other one day. I am manifesting that right now.
Nice. Okay, thank you, girl.